A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. I am Guru Prasad Padmanabhan, your Sergeant at Arms for today's meeting. Well, to brief you a little about Toastmasters International, it's an organization, it's a global institution close to a century by age that is meant for developing communication and leadership skills amongst all its members, and it's a non-profit organization founded by one Dr. Ralph C. Medley. We are assembled here as part of Medley Toastmasters Club that was started somewhere around 2008 and used to frequently meet at the Gandhinagar Club in Adyar. Of course, due to the current situation, we are all meeting remotely. Otherwise, our normal venue used to be Gandhinagar Club in Adyar or IITM Research Park near Taramani. Toastmasters has a vision which is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. It helps members to realize the power of communication and use it accordingly in their personal, professional, and social life. In every Toastmasters meeting, we request all our members and guests to follow some preset rules and guidelines that applies to remote meetings as well, with some special conditions over here. Let me read out those conditions that you are expected to follow. Number one is, if you are not a speaker, please keep yourself mute. Please do not keep your microphone up and disturb others in speaking. If you are moving around during the meeting for some reason, please stop your webcam as well to avoid distracting the audience. Speakers, role players, and anybody who gets a chance to speak in the meeting are requested to kindly avoid three topics or three themes, namely sex, religion, and or politics whenever you are delivering something. We request you to attend all the Toastmasters meeting in a formal attire because we are meant to be growing up in leadership and communication skills. It's better to come in formal attire. And finally, please affix a prefix against your name in the Zoom meeting. If you can see me, it is mentioned as SAA-Guru Prasad Padmanabhan. Similarly, if you are a guest, please mention as guest-your name. If you are a role player in the meeting, please mention as your role name -your name. Others, members of Toastmasters, please mention as TM-your name. So it's easy to understand who is a guest, who is a role player, and who is a Toastmaster. Well, with all the ground rules set, we are ready to start the meeting. To begin the meeting, I would like to invite the president of Medley Toastmasters Club and also the presiding officer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. He's a very, very senior executive, both in terms of profession and Toastmasters. He has been associated with Toastmasters for decades, and he is a real Toastmaster international, meaning he had been a member of, conducted, groomed, as well as led various roles in Toastmasters Club across various countries. And also, and professionally, he is a senior executive in automobile industry with long years of experience, again, globally across the countries. So I'm very glad to welcome our president, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair, to preside over the meeting. Over to you, President.
Thank you so very much for a wonderful introduction, Guru, and especially a different way of explaining the Sergeant at Arms role, very live, and that's something which we need to learn from experienced Toastmasters and experienced Toastmasters, especially one second. Sorry for that disturbance. So, which actually helped in today morning. I was reading one of the Dale Carnegie's book, which I got as a gift, being the contest chair for after joining Medley. I was doing the contest chair for the club and then for the area. So I got this book as as a gift for that for conducting that event earlier in 2009. And in that, one of the key topics which or the chapter which I read was about hug downs. I don't know how many of you heard about him. He's a very famous anchor, and he has started his career as an anchor for the radio, and then he has actually gone into having various roles, and he has held the world Guinness record for having anchored for quite long. I think for until a certain period. And Dale was explaining about one of the key examples of the first mistakes that he had done. He was interviewing a person who has escaped from Kremlin prison. Okay. After a a very different way of handling. They were digging the hole inside. They were eating dirt, and then finally, he was telling the whole story of how he was escaping. And finally, the person whom he was interviewing. He said they were able to see the wooden plank, and they were able to reach the end of their mission. Suddenly, the question Hug Downs asked was, "What are your hobbies?" So what it meant was he was not at all listening to what the person was explaining on his mission, which actually made the view not only made that even that particular session disturbing, but the listeners actually lost the climax of that story. So the importance of listening is something which doesn't apply to all the professional interviewers or anyone. It is even anywhere like us as Toastmasters who hopes to be a better communicator with others. See, there are two good reasons to listen to other people. One is the people respond. You learn a lot of things on the way. But more than that, the other people responds to people who listen to them actively. And that's something which we learn in Toastmasters, which I have also learned in Toastmasters, because there are a lot of time where you get into meetings and you listen to the whole episode, the whole meetings for 2.5 hours. The interaction which you have, the amount of knowledge that you get in listening to the education speeches is quite immense. And that's something which I always thank being associated with the Toastmaster fraternity. And now, we have today the 630th meeting. Before I open the meeting using our famous golden gavel, with the sound of this gavel, let me open the meeting number 630. And for that, before I hand over to the session to the TMOD, let me request some of our guests today to just introduce on how they came to know about Toastmasters and the reason for them being here. So we have guest Shivamani, then we have guest Raja, Uday, Siddharth. Yeah. So let's start with Uday. Uday, I think I missed your call in the morning, but you are able to get in touch with Ranga. Please introduce yourself. You need to unmute, Uday.
I'm sorry. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Uday. I'm from Chennai. I'm part of. I've been part of Toastmasters in Pune. So recently, I've got relocated to Chennai as part of my work. So I would like to join on Medley. So I just got this information through web, and then I called people, and then I've gotten about it. So I'm really happy to just join. I'm really looking forward to just see how that meeting is going. Thank you.
Excellent. Welcome, Uday. Siddharth, would you like to introduce yourself to the larger audience?
Yes, sure. My name is M. Siddharth. I'm from here Thiruvanmiyur. I'm studying into I completed my 12th standard, waiting for results and planning to join your colleges in psychology courses. And I came to know about Medley Toastmaster Club. I inquired Medley Toastmasters last year as I was not eligible to join the club. Now, next month I'm turning 18, so I would like to join the club. Looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent. You have to, one of the criteria that Medley has is, as a guest is that you have to attend a minimum of 4 meetings as guest. So I look forward to seeing you very often again till you turn 18. That is another one, right? Thank you.
Yeah,
Guest
thank you.
Raja, welcome, Siddharth. Please enjoy the meeting. Guest
Hello,
Raja.
everyone.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm
I request
Raja.
to turn on your video so that people can see you also.
Okay,
Yeah,
no
okay.
issue. Yes, they can see me. Hello, are you able to see my video?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
good evening, everyone. I'm Raja. I'm part of Medley Toastmaster 3 years before. I have a break now, last 3 years. I joined last Toastmaster, last meeting also, this meeting also I joined. So actually, I would like to understand where we are now in the Toastmaster, how I am today. So that is the reason I'm again joining. That's the last 2 meetings. Let me see that anything is happening to me, then I think twice now.
Then I would, excellent. Thank you for coming back. I know Toastmastering is like an addiction. I mean, wherever you are, because of that fraternity with which you are engaged, you definitely allowed to come back. Good, welcome back again. Looking forward to seeing you in meetings and being a member. Dr. Sundaram, good afternoon. So you're on mute. I know most of you might be knowing Dr. Sundaram, but anyway, let me invite Shivamani, guest Shivamani. Would you like to introduce yourself? Turn on your video, please.
So you are seeing my video, sir?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I am Shivamani. Actually, I'm pursuing CA. I came to know about Toastmaster from Machitapa. Actually, WhatsApp me about it. Even I've heard about Toastmasters, like you know how to improve on your presentation skills and how to improve on your communication skills and all. Yeah.
Okay, welcome. Please enjoy. We'll be there to help you. Nivedita, I think she's a friend of Amita, our current secretary. Nivedita, yes.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi, sir. So hi, everybody. I'm Nivedita. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's in psychology. So I got to know about Toastmasters through Amita, like you had said, sir. So it seemed like super interesting, and I wanted to meet a lot of different people and hear them speak. And I also wanted to improve my speaking skills. So that's why I've come for today's session.
Excellent. Welcome to me. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
Okay, now on the paucity of time, I'll definitely speak to all the other guests by end of this meeting. Let me introduce our Toastmaster of the day, who will take over the whole proceedings of the meetings. A very part of my team as Xcom, as VP Treasurer, is now going to become the VP membership, but a very dedicated Toastmaster, a very dedicated person who is always there to help you whenever is required. That's how I know, because I worked with her for being a contest chair from the beginning, as I said today, and various other roles, and very dedicated Toastmaster. So I've seen a huge improvement from what she was when I know her in 2009 to what she is now. I'm sure the meeting is going to be an excellent one. Let's put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Sharanya as the TM lady. Over to you, Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. So, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all for the Medley's Toastmasters meeting. Hope you enjoy the meeting today. We have lots of guests today. So, I chose the theme of the day for today is the power of communication. So, what exactly communication is? It is just delivering information, right? So, what is called an effective communication? Can anybody tell like what is an effective communication?
And people listening to you understand what you say.
Correct. That is correct. So whatever we talk should be received by the audience and they should be able to understand like what we are trying to convey. That is the effective communication. So in the current world, like everything is automated. So be it if you wanted to do some data analysis, we have all AI taking forward, like automation intelligence is taking forward with everything. It is also able to predict data like what will happen in the future, right? So for doing manual things also, like we have robots to do that. It is also like blooming now. And so what as humans is most and key for us is to build a very strong communication base. So communication is building strong and trusting relationship with people. So people has to trust us and everybody judges in this world by the way we communicate with confidence, right? How people like us by the way we communicate. So how to build a communication that too with which is related to Toastmasters. So I'll brief you on that. First, for the benefits of guests, I would like to explain the structure of today's meeting. The meeting is divided into three rounds. The first is the prepared speech round, where members will be delivering their speeches based on the projects and paths they have chosen. And the second part of the session is table topics round, where members can practice thinking and speaking on the feet. And this round is also known as an impromptu speech session. Guests are welcome to participate in this round as well. The third and the final part is the evaluation round, in which all the prepared speeches as well as the aspects of the session will be evaluated by the general evaluator and his team. As a Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce the role bearers who will be assisting me in the meeting for today's session. I have a general evaluator with me today, his Toastmaster Saravanan. So Saravanan is a senior project manager in Ford Motors. And I asked him like what sort of communication style you like. He told like crisp communication. So whoever talks to the point, communication to the point, Saravanan will start liking you. So over to you, Toastmaster Saravanan. Can you please introduce your team members?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. As you are aware, like communication is like a coin, right? It has two sides, verbal as well as non-verbal communication. And I play the general evaluator role today. My role is to evaluate the entire meeting proceedings, observe each and everything that happens before the meeting as well as during the meeting and end of the meeting as well, and orchestrate the findings in such a way that I take care of both the verbal as well as the non-verbal communication. As you are aware, Toastmaster members and guests comprises of many roles, right? Right from professionals, college goers, as well as executives. And evaluation is an important aspect which will help all these areas. There are three factors which are very helpful as part of evaluation itself. The first one is decision making. Second, planning and organizing. And third, motivate and improve the morale of the members. And that is what this team is comprised of. I have a 6-member team comprised of tagged role players as well as evaluation players. Okay. So the overall main purpose of evaluation is to build the speaker's confidence and abilities so that they will come back again and play their role effectively. So this is pretty much what evaluation is all about. And I will now introduce my team members. I have two teams. First team is called as tag role team. This team is comprising of timer, counter, as well as grammarian. This is the team that focuses on both qualitative as well as quantitative analysis, and they listen to the entire meeting, listen to all the role players, whether it is speakers or evaluators, whoever it is, they will listen to all the role players. And if each and every speech they will evaluate and provide a candid report at the end of the meeting. And now a question to you. What is the most valuable thing a person can spend?
Time.
Very good, very good, very good. So now we call upon the timer. So the timer role is played by a person who is from the city of pearls, also known as Tuticorin. According to her, communication is essential for human connection. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi. Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, can you please brief your role?
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as a timer is to keep time for all the speakers to ensure that everyone speaks within their allotted time slot. This will also help in ensuring that the meeting runs on time. To help me do this, I have 3 colored cards with me. I will raise the green card when the speaker hits qualifying time. I will raise the yellow card when the speaker hits the target time, and I will raise the red card when the speaker has reached the end of their allotted time. Prepared speeches are for about 5 to 7 minutes. I shall raise green card at the 5th minute, yellow card at the 6th minute, and red card on 7th minute. Table topic speeches are for about 1 to 2 minutes. I'll show the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and red card at 2 minutes. Speech evaluations are for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll show green card at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and the red card at 3 minutes. The speaker will also be granted a grace period of 30 seconds to wrap up his or her speech. I'll change the Zoom background image using timer cards at the appropriate time for each speech to track times. Request you all to pin my video. Finally, I'll present my report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya. Now we move on to the next role player. This role player is called as Org Counter. This role is played by a person who joined Medley recently. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Subhashini. Can you please brief your role?
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests here. First of all, many apologies for not coming on video because of the bandwidth issue. My role as an R counter is to note down any of the overused words or filler sounds used as a crutch by anyone, such as, and, well, you know, and words such as and Why, if you ask me, it is important in Toastmasters for a good speaker, it is important to deliver a clear speech. I encourage all the speakers today to be very conscious about using your words and not use and fillers and just have a clean speech. I'll meet you again at the end of the with my report at the end of the meeting. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So now we move on to the next role that is played by, that is the Grammarian role. This role is played by a passionate Toastmaster who is gifted with a soothing voice and eye for detail. According to him, communication is understand others and be understood by others. Clarity of speech is essential for effective communication, according to him. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Suttaresan. Can you please explain your role?
Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator Sharvanam. Let me read the grammarian script and law. Today I'm playing the role of grammarian. As a grammarian, it's my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any improper language as well as any outstanding words, quotes, or sayings. Let me introduce the word of the day. That's our format. For a change, for your convenience today, I have brought 2 words. So let me introduce words of the day. The first word is rollick. Goes with R-O-L-L-I-C-K, rollick. And the second word is alacrity, A-L-A-C-R-I-T-Y. Rollick goes with act or behave in a jovial and exuberant fashion. Now, all the family members were in the rollicking mode after playing the cards game, can be the usage. For alacrity, enthusiastic, cheerful, willingness to do something. Usage is, today we all tag players accepted our roles with alacrity. So after general evaluation, during the general evaluation session, I'll be giving my report to general evaluator. Over to Toastmaster Sharman.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan. With this, we have seen the entire tag team, timer, or counter, as well as grammarian, and their roles and responsibilities as well. I will come again to do the rest of the evaluation at a later point of time. Now, I give it the virtual stage back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Saravanan. So let's move back to the theme of the day, power of communication. So the first power of communication is expressing yourself. So when we just came out of a mother's womb, like we communicate when we are hungry, sad, and happy, right? Over the time, we learned how to use words. So after getting older, we have an array of words to express our feelings. So we are adults now, and we are still working on like how to express ourselves to improve our communication skills. So the messages that we try to convey should be delivered straight from our heart with clarity. So what is blocking us? A fear that we are not exposed outside before, a fear whether whatever we talk will look silly, or a fear whether we will lose authority or power. So to overcome this, what we have to do is we have to manage our emotion and express our thoughts clearly. So for that, we have a prepared speech session in Toastmasters. We can hear, we can create a habit of managing our emotion and express our thoughts by giving speech. So going to the prepared speech session. So we have our speaker one today, Toastmaster Venkateshan. So he is giving his speech in motivational strategy, level 1, project 2, evaluation and feedback. And we have evaluator Toastmaster Atishay Jain to evaluate Toastmaster Venkateshan. So Toastmaster Atishay, can you please read out the project objectives?
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Toastmaster Venkat Session is presenting his second speech for his second speech in the his third speech in the evaluation track, and second speech that is a feedback to the previous speech he gave. The purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply feedback to a second speech. The purpose of this speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received in the previous speech to this speech. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Venkat Session. Wish you the best.
Thank you, Atishay. So a small introduction about Toastmaster Venkateshan. So he's working in TCS as a consultant, and I asked him like what leadership communication style he liked. He told like assertive communication style, which inspires and energizes listeners. So Toastmaster Venkateshan, magical meaningfulness. Magical meaningfulness, Toastmaster Venkateshan. Over to you.
You are able to hear me?
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Just before I start, my topic is magical mindfulness. So just a correction. Okay, for timer, I will start now. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters. Magical mindfulness. Yes, old wine in a new bottle after getting feedback from you all in my last speech. If you remember, in my last speech, I spoke about Cho Ramaswamy's meditation attempt, his coffee, and about my altercation with my boss and how mindfulness could help in such situations. One lakh thoughts. Yes, our mind undergoes more than a lakh thoughts in a given day. Very few of them we could control, and most of them we cannot. In such situations, it is very important to control your thoughts and manage your emotions and come up in your positions. Mindfulness helps us in these situations. Mindfulness is understanding the current situation without any bias and take a pause and respond to it rather than reacting to the situation. So, okay, what is the difference between mindfulness and meditation? Meditation is a time-bound practice. So you sit in a place for 30 minutes, concentrate on a certain object or certain subject. But mindfulness is not a time bomb. It is the way of life. How you train your brain to take the stimuli which are coming from the external sources and how you respond to them. Meditation is focusing your concentration on a single thought, whereas mindfulness does not restrict you on any given thought. It takes every thought which goes to your brain and tags them and respond to those thoughts stimuli accordingly. So that's the major difference between mindfulness and meditation. Okay, that's good. So how does it help in my current work life or my personal life? As a leader, we all know that emotional intelligence is the pillar block of any leadership skill. Mindfulness helps us in improving our emotional intelligence. It helps to improve your self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and social relationships. It also helps oneself to evolve from his current situation and improve. A guided mindfulness practice in a long term has proven to improve our emotional quotient. It also improves our power of communication, how we communicate to the people around us, either it be the family, your son, your parents, or your office, fellow officers. Mindfulness also improves your confidence and courage, how you tackle difficult situations in your life. In turn, eventually, it helps us to inspire and influence people around us. All these are good. I can understand how it is helpful, how it works. But is there a scientific proof behind this? We are in a millennial world. We want to have proof for everything, right? So, yes, mindfulness has also a science behind it. Mindfulness has a strong correlation with neural science. Neural science is a branch of science which studies about the brain functions and how it creates and transmits the signals to various sensory organs and motor organs in our body. In a brain, amygdala is a part which is the primitive, it's called as a primitive brain of our brain components. It is, we have retained this from our ancestors, from apes and from centuries before. It is the part of the brain which does involuntary actions like flight or fight in a given situation. It doesn't have any logical thoughts into it. It helps in such situations. Whereas prefrontal cortex is another part of the brain which is called as logical part of the brain, which takes the inputs and does a logical application on those inputs and gives you a better response with more creativity and a logical one. It has been proven that mindfulness eventually stimulates this prefrontal cortex so that you could have a more judgmental decision and take responses rather than reacting to the situations. In 2019, two researchers from Massachusetts General Hospital along with Harvard Medical School conducted a study and found that mindfulness helps to reduce or alleviate fear signals in our brain. So thereby applying more of prefrontal cortex rather than fearing something. There are various studies about the effect of mindfulness in brain functions, which is available everywhere and it's done in worldwide. Okay, so why wait? Let's buckle up, start practicing mindfulness with alacrity, and right through this thrilling and enjoyable journey on magical mindfulness. I'm ready. How about you, Toastmaster of the day and my fellow Toastmasters? Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateseshan. It was a great speech related to mindfulness. So moving to the speaker 2, it is distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham. So he is going to give in his project Engaging Humor, Level 1, Project 2, Evaluation and Feedback. So the evaluator is Toastmaster Shankar. Toastmaster Shankar, can you read out the project objectives?
Thank you, TMOD. The purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. And also, the member is to present the speech and receive the feedback from the evaluator. Over to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankar. So about distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham, he is a communication consultant and a creator. So he admires all the communication styles, transferring what is from sender's mind to the receiver's mind. And if it is done with a full entertaining purpose, then that's brilliant. That's his answer for like the style of communication style that he likes. So distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham and Xcom sitcom distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham.
Why is the Xcom like the bosses? Because everybody thinks they are important and soon they will start thinking themselves that they are important. It's not their fault. Look at the names, the designations, president, vice president. And if somebody is senior, it becomes senior vice president. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that Xcom is accelerated leadership training. One example, delegation. What is the best way to delegate? You know, simply miss the meeting without warning. Somebody else will do your job. And then after the term is over, you can come back and say, look, I have created so many leaders with my delegation style. Question number 2. How can you recognize an Xcom? It's nothing written here. There's no badge either. If it's a physical meeting, it's very simple. Look at the last row behind the the rear door. Seated there with their back to the wall will be the Xcom. Why? They know it's dangerous to lead from the front because having read the pages of history, they know about emperors, prime ministers, and MDs who have lost their swivel chair or throne because they were not keeping a watch on what was happening behind them. Rear seat is the best.
Thomas, sorry to inform you that you're off of the video, it's blocked.
Meaning, how is it now?
Yeah, it is perfect now.
Thank you. Do I start from the beginning or what do I do?
I think better start from the beginning. Timer, please start from now.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Why is the Xcom like the bosses? Because everybody knows they are important and soon they will start thinking that they are important. It's not their fault. Look at the designation. You have president, vice president, and if somebody is senior enough, it becomes senior vice president. Good afternoon, Contest Master. Good afternoon, TMOD, ladies and gentlemen. We all know that Xcom is accelerated leadership training. One example, delegation. The best way to delegate is bunk the meeting without warning. Somebody else will do your dirty job. And then you can come back after the term and say, look, I created so many leaders through my delegation. Second question, how can you recognize the Xcom visually? If it's a physical meeting, it's very simple. Look at the last door. Behind that, seated with their back to the wall, are the Xcom. They know from experience that to lead from the front is dangerous. They also know from the pages of history about emperors, presidents, prime ministers, and MDs who lost their chairs or throne because they didn't keep a track of what was running behind them, their back. Seated there closest to the door is the VPM. He's a salesman. He has his target. He has the broadest smile. He will give his chauffeur's pen to the guest to write the name. And then he will send a chit to the TT master. Hey, a simple question for Harini, please. Sure enough, come TT time, Harini will be asked the difficult question of explaining her childhood memories, which she will do brilliantly. She will get uploaded and all her inferiority complex will be exploded and her entire rhetorical ambitions will be uploaded and she will quickly pay up and become a member, all self-persuaded. Brilliant job done. Seated next is the tax collector, I mean the treasurer, who will have the tax rates on a board. See, she is clever. It is better that the visitors see and pay rather than having to snatch the samosa because of non-payment of the fee. Very messy it will be. Seated, rather existing next, neither seated nor standing, is the VPE. He has his eyes on the door. You know why? Already he has to do the one evaluation because somebody bunked at the last moment. If the sergeant-at-arms doesn't come, he has to do that also. But the trouble is, today is the wretched, the holy area director's visit. If the meeting gets delayed in start, one precious mark gone. Tension. With no such tension, as if living in another planet, is the president, seated blissfully in the front row. If he's a polite person, a little to the side, otherwise right in the center. So this is the Xcom. Third question, have you attended ever an Xcom meeting? I can see more people saying no, therefore let me explain to you. This is the peephole scene of an Xcom. You have the president, that is me, suffer me. Then you have this side, you have Arun. He is the VPE. To my right, we have Bala. Bala is the secretary. I can only guarantee and certify that these three are alive now because the other members have switched off their video. Okay, here we go. Friends, we need a contest chair. Any suggestions? This is Arun. Yes, I propose Prasad. This is Bala. No, there is a problem. What is the problem? His full name, by the time you say, you will get red carded. His full name is Veera Venkatesha Varaprasad. And when he wants to feel important, and always he wants to feel important, he gives his father's name also. And if he wants to spite the MC, he will add his family name, which has 4 village names inside that. Okay. I will then suggest Mini. Arun, why Mini? Because it's a short name. Her full name is Mini. I want to propose Rebecca. That is problematic. What is the problem? Rebecca wants to study further. She doesn't want to get married now. But I only wanted to propose her name. I didn't propose to her. No. In online meetings, it all gets confusing. People will get it wrong. No. I want to stay with Rebecca. What? I told you she doesn't want to get married and you want to stay with her. Ayyo, appadiyalla nenakadungo. Appadiyalla. Oh God, kadavule. I mean, don't think like that. You did not feel like that, no? He didn't even say that. No. Let us have an election. So those who are for Rebecca and those who are for Mini. Election is conducted and then the videos come alive. They are alive. I can certify there were 7 live people in this meeting and it's a tie. Oh God, it's a tie. Baba, I don't want to vote. I cannot displease either of you. Bala, you are the secretary. If you're unhappy, there'll be no minutes. We will lose the golden gavel points. Arun, you are VP. If you're unhappy, the club will be unhappy. Huh? What do? We'll do one thing. Let's have a special general meeting, SGM. Bala, when you write the minutes, please say there was a vertical divide in the committee and the president, in the most democratic manner, unequivocally, you know the spelling? You write, I will correct it for you. Unequivocally decided to have the SGM. Please also add today's word of the day somehow in your minutes. It's alacrity and rollick. Okay. That is, and please also add, the president said, that is why it is said that people get the contest chair they deserve. People get the Xcom they deserve. Hey, who said that? TMOD, who said that? Complaint. Thank you.
Thank you. So, thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham. So, it was really a very nice speech. So, I really missed the physical club meetings and Xcom meetings. So, with this, let's move to the third speaker for today, is Toastmaster Jagannathan. So, he is doing his project in Persuasive Influence, Level 2, Project 3, Introduction to Toastmasters. So I have Toastmaster Surya to evaluate Toastmaster Jagan. Toastmaster Surya, can you please read out the project objectives?
Yes. Hope I'm audible.
Yes.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Jagan is delivering his speech in Level 2 under part Persuasive Influence, project number 2. The purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmaster envisions mentoring and also to share some aspects of previous experience as a protege. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you. All the best, Toastmaster Jagan, and over to you, Team Audio.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya. So about Toastmaster Jagan, he is a software professional with 4 years of experience. And when I asked him which communication styles he told like, I don't know about communication styles and all. I like direct communication style. So whatever it is, you have to go and talk to him directly. So with this, Toastmaster Jagannathan NC, TV, DVD, Mufasa. TV, DVD, Mufasa, Toastmaster Jagannathan.
Thank you, Sharana. Before going into the speech, is my audio video clear?
Yes.
My presentation is visible?
Yes.
Thank you. It was a warm summer. Too hot, too humid. Nothing surprising about that. I was in my teens. As I entered our room, the TV was switched on. Just a moment. The TV was switched on. Some old MGR song was playing through the DVD. I ignored it, but soon it caught my attention. Not the song, but Mufasa was crying. Appa, could you please reduce the sound? Jagan, have you ever seen a hero romancing his lover with a philosophical song? உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் உலகத்தில் போராடலாம் உயர்ந்தாலும் தாழ்ந்தாலும் தலை வணங்காமல் நீ வாழலாம். Which means if you know yourself, you can fight in this world. Irrespective of success or failure, you can hold your head high. I thought to myself, who in the world would wear a tight cowboy dress and a hat in a tropical country, ride a horse, and advise his lover about philosophy? Only one person can do it. Purachi Talaivar, as MGR was fondly called. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. As a teen, I neither understood the meaning of these songs nor my father's reaction to them. He was channelizing into my mind the genius of MSV Ramamurthy and K.V. Mahadevan, the wisdom of lyricists like Kannadas and Vali, through the charismatic acting of MGR and Shivaji. Through these songs, he exposed me to the higher ideals of life. What is justice? What is freedom? What is a dignified life? What is rationality? And why should you question everything? He was my first mentor, though he never intended to be one. Moving on, as with any life on earth, my mother has influenced me more than anybody. A 5 to 7 minute speech cannot possibly accommodate her. Thus, her most important influence on me is how I spend money. We grew up with terms like FD, RD, fixed deposits, Diwali chit fund, Pongal chit fund, jewel loan, interest, penalties. She had eggs in all baskets. Isn't that what you call an investment portfolio today? Years later, I found another mentor named Chaya Srivatsa in Mysore. As the training was intense, Infosys provided us with a life coach for the trainees to reach out to. I reached out almost every day, not because I was stressed, but because she had answers to my questions. More than answers, she had wisdom. Her 3 important influences on me. Number 1, tell truth to the face. Never be afraid to be on the side of the truth. Value time. If you respect it, it respects you. Mind your own business unless it affects your business. After 6 years of training in Mysore, I came back to Chennai. One of the reasons that I loved my job was my managers, Vasant and Govind. They knew I was hyper zealous in asking questions, but did not stop me from doing it. Every client meeting, they would open the floor, safely assuming I had something in my arsenal. In one of my appraisal meetings, my Govind gave me a valuable feedback. He told me, Jagan, choose the right forum and the right time for your questions. It was not a revelation to me back then, but over time, I realized the importance of this advice. Today, it translates to, Jagan, be emotionally intelligent as to predict where you could get correct answers for your questions. As a fresher, I had a wonderful team. My team leads both on-site and offshore trusted me and encouraged me. I put all my previous learnings to use. Result, in the next appraisal, I was thanking Govind for the early promotion. Coming to Toastmasters. I've had 2 mentors since I joined the forum. One is Akanksha Mahapatra. The other is Thomas T. Abraham. Now, more than guiding, more than being mentors, they have guided me outside of Toastmasters. They've become close friends. More than being close friends, they've listened to my ideas, to my eccentricities, to my beliefs. More than listening, they have been a wise counsel in as to how I proceed with my life. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. In fact, especially with DTM Thomas, every speech has rudimentarily gone through the cycle of reviews. It is as though a floor being grounded again and again, and every evaluation has an ex post facto discussion so that I become a better person of myself, better version of myself in the next meeting. Life has changed for the good after the advent of these mentors. While I strive every day to follow their advice, I haven't perfected them. It's an ongoing process, but there are some perceptible changes. The TV has changed into smartphone. The DVD has metamorphosed into iTunes. And Mufasa has become Simba. By the way, there's another Simba who was born 6.5 years before me. She is a carbon copy of Mufasa. She doesn't know how much she influences me. She will never get to know how much she influences me. And that's just the manifestation of Mufasa in both of us. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagan. It was indeed a great speech. We enjoyed a lot. So Timer, can you please read out the qualified speakers?
All are qualified Toastmaster of the day.
Okay. So let me launch the poll. Let me give 10 seconds time to cast the vote. Thank you. So, as the theme of the day tells, power of communication, expressing your thoughts, we have another session to express our thoughts, the table topic session. To provide us with a challenge for today's table topics round, we have a table topic master who will be conducting the session today. Let table topic master throw topics on us and let's think on the feet and talk. So today's TT master is Toastmaster Periyasamy. He is working as a production manager in garment manufacturing company, and he likes his boss's style of communication, assertive communication style, because he is a good listener, a loyal, highly committed, persistent, and he also allows people to think. Over to you, TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Sharanya. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, fellow Toastmaster and guest. We all know that table topic is one of the most interesting and exciting segment in Toastmaster. Most of us would have joined in Toastmaster to gain experience exclusively in table topic. Before I call upon speakers, for the benefit of guests, you need to speak minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes in order to getting for voting. I will give you the topic or the situation. You need to speak about that for 1 to 2 minutes. Please pin the timer for your timing. For my first speaker, I call upon Mr. Toastmaster Venkatesan. Venkatesan, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sorry, 1 minute. So your topic is, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Toastmaster Venkatesan.
Thank you for the nice topic, table topic master. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and distinguished guests. You must be the change for yourself. I would like to take my professional career only. More than 8 departments I work. 9th department also I am taking care because of pandemic. I am excelling in all the departments, but still I cannot get the promotion as I expected as an attorney. Plus my technical knowledge. Guys, I was there as a EDP in charge when my career started. Then after that, I got a technology specialist. Then I got they said that why don't you take our IPR department also? Even IPR department, I wrote an exam and I have succeeded. I got a first mark in the South Asian. Still, I'm waiting for attorney promotion in my existing firm. But every day is like once Superstar Rajnikant was saying that even though I am in the field more than 50 years, whenever the movie, new movie is taking the assignment, each and every day is a first day for him. He never think about that. In 1977, acted in K. Balachandra movie or any other thing like that. For the past 29 years, I am doing it either with pandemic or without pandemic. Is a fresh day for me, and I am taking up and I am looking forward bright future in the IPR field, but I am excelling in myself, either in WIPO or Internet Society or in ICANN. But the company knows very well, they are appreciating me, not directly, indirectly. Thank you. Oh, nice topic, table topic master. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Venkateshan, for sharing your thoughts on this topic. Can I have Toastmaster Shruti Prakash? Can I have Toastmaster Shruti Prakash? Okay. Can I have Toastmaster Satish? Toastmaster Satish, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, Toastmaster Satish, your topic is, I found a pot of treasure on the road while I was returning from home. I found a pot of treasure on the road while I was returning from home. From that you can continue. Toastmaster Satish.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, and good afternoon, TMODs. So, yeah, so coming to this instance, when you find a treasure and coming back, it is really a very exciting thing when you get a treasure. So suddenly, if you get, your thoughts will go into colors like the thing like, and again coming to a treasure box, you didn't tell about like what is inside like. So once if it after opening the box, then it will come the real exciting, whether the good things are there or normal things or the things which are not in use like. So unless you open the box, it is a thing. So same thing when it is come to the life also, it is a treasure like. So at every instance of the day, and each day it is a new thing like. So coming here in the case like of this treasure box, I feel after opening it, if it is like a precious item, I feel like good, and I will think about how I can make use of it, and how I can be productive with helping to the people, and for the other things like. So life is also like a treasure like. So we have to go forward like how we take so with the new exciting things, whatever we face in the life. So overall, the treasure is very excited. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish, for sharing your thoughts on this and continue the good story. Thank you. Can I have Toastmaster Karthikeyan? Toastmaster Karthikeyan, are you there? Can I have guest Dr. Sundaram?
Hello.
Hello, Sundaram sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, your topic is make hay while the sun shines. Make hay while the sun shines. Guest Dr. Sundaram sir.
Thank you. This is one of the wonderful topic. Actually, many people, we as a person should follow this, certainly. Yeah, I have been also following, but at the same time, it actually, when the sun doesn't shine in one place, probably it shines in many places. So to make the hay, we have to move along. So in my life also, I have moved a long way all over the globe. Actually, I had been in Chennai, I had been in Hyderabad, I had been in Ranchi, then Delhi, then almost 15 countries, Manila, then I went to UAE, that is United States of Arab Emirates, and all the places, actually the sun had been really shining well. Only thing is your attitude. In the attitude, if you have the attitude that everybody is good in the world and everything is nice to you, probably your sun will be very brighter. Unfortunately, in some places, they may not have the same way of feeling towards you. Especially there is actually in the north, there is a lot of actually differences north-south. Then there is a feeling of black and white and all the things and parties and some places. All are there. But the sun actually doesn't stop shining for that. It always actually shines, and it is up to you how you actually make it to shine on you. That is the way actually. I had been very successful in all the places, most of the places, in spite of many people criticizing actually, oh, this fellow, the black lovely chap, what he's doing. That doesn't matter. At the same time, you have to actually develop yourself. I studied all along. Actually, to be frank, I studied my MBA part-time. I studied my PhD part-time. I studied my psychology part-time and all those things. And I developed myself so that the sun will shine on me brighter. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your views on this topic.
Yeah.
Can I have a Toastmaster Amita? Toastmaster Amita, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Just a minute.
Thank you, Amita. There is a story you need to continue on that. Once a farmer had 3 grown-up sons. They always quarreled among themselves. Their father advised them to live in peace. Once a father had 3 grown-up sons. They always quarreled among themselves. Their father advised them to live in peace. Toastmaster Amita.
Thank you so much, TT Master. First of all, am I audible to everybody? Am I loud and clear?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you for this topic, really, because when you speak about siblings fighting with each other, that is the last thing I can relate to. So probably this topic is giving me an opportunity to think about how it will be if siblings actually fight with each other and how the parents would think about such a situation. So when everyone used to come, my relatives, and they used to come home and they asked me, so do you and your siblings fight all the time? It used to be really awkward for us because you'll be one of those siblings which says, no, we don't fight at all. Even if we do fight, it's going to get over in a matter of half a chocolate. So that is really a good thing about me and my sister. But at the same time, when we see other siblings fighting, we also feel that is a really beautiful thing, because at the end of each fight, the siblings, although they pull each other's hair, they are going to come back together and sleep together that night with happy stories and happy stuff. And every brother or every younger sibling will definitely get a tear in their eye when they see that the younger sibling, elder sister, is going to get married soon and like moving outside their house. So at the end of the day, I think it's an inseparable bond. So although there are many quarrels, although there are many fights, it is not going to stand in the place of the love at any point of time. And I think quarrels will definitely find its own way to resolve, because there is something called love, and there is something called this unspoken love between siblings, which will definitely keep them together. So I would suggest the farmer to just let it go and they'll automatically find their place. Over to you, TT Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amita. Indeed, very true. Thank you sharing your personal things, personal views on this. Can I have guest Siddharth? Guest Siddharth, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So your topic is never judge a book by its cover. Never judge a book by its cover. Guest Siddharth.
Yeah, never judge a book by its cover. As the topic says, even if a book is very torn and very dirty, the contents inside the book will be valuable. So valuable that it gives us immense pleasure, immense knowledge, and everything to get forward in life. So never judge a book. And sometimes even a book can be and its outer cover will be very good. Like if you take all those novels and fictions, the outer cover will be good, but unfortunately the contents inside will be sometimes it will not be worth the price you pay for the book. So thank you all.
Completed?
Yes, sir. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks for your views on this topic. Can I have Toastmaster Zagir Amir?
Yeah, I'm here, Sami.
Yes, sir. So your topic is only in pressure diamonds are made. Only in pressure diamonds are made, Toastmaster Zagir.
Yeah. Thank you. Good evening to all. And it's a good topic. And generally, it's many people might have spoken on this topic. Let me try myself on the. Yes. Today, what we are, because of a lot of pressure, and we have confined to our home. We have learned a lot of languages, and we have been well served with the online tutorials because the pressure was there, the COVID pressure. Many ways the people were forced to learn and make themselves shine. And the life is such the biggest sliver, which slivers you and makes you a wonderful diamond. So pressure always keeps things burn in terms of kitchen. Similarly, the pressure burns you to make best out of you. Similarly, the diamonds, which is burn depth in the depth of the earth, taken out and shined, and they made into diamond by a lot of pressures, a lot of kind of shining they made on it. So similarly, I strongly believe that when you apply pressure to yourself, internal pressure I'm telling, not external pressure, you realize yourself. Many people go for penance, they go for meditation, everything, they put a lot of pressure on them to outshine themselves. So pressure really makes people perfect. Let us understand with the maturity that kind of a pressure is required. Immature people burst out of it and die. Most of the diamonds are the people who keep the pressure in a positive way, shine themselves. They have taken themselves into a lot of other conditions. And I can see many of us are well versed with the operating systems of these systems because the pressure we want to participate. This pressure made a lot of people to learn and get best out of them. So surely I believe that pressure makes the diamonds. Similarly, pressure inside you makes you the wonderful human. So thank you, Perisami, for your topic. I made it my day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a valuable words. The next speaker I call upon. Guest Niveda, are you there, madam?
Yeah, I'm there. Am I
Yes, madam.
audible?
Madam, your topic is an apple a day keeps the doctor away. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Guest Niveda.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, madam. You can carry on.
Yeah. So the topic, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, immediately takes my mind to a medical business, a medical field. Like it reminds me of the time when children and like I as a child, I used to get sick a lot, very frequently. So I used to go to the clinic with my mother. And there I used to see like these posters where it would be written, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And this was like a very important saying in school also. And they had different modifications of it, and it was very comical at those times. So that's the first thing which I am reminded of when I read that saying. And I didn't stay in India initially when I was a child. I used to live in the US. So there used to be these books called Dr. Seuss books. And there he used to tell this line a lot of times. I never used to understand what it meant, but then I realized it actually meant eating an apple would make you feel healthier and nicer. I thought it only applied to apples, but actually it applied to all fruits and vegetables, and it shows the importance of how fruits and vegetables can, the impact that it can have on our health, and how important it is to maintain a healthy diet, so that we don't have to go for those frequent hospital checkups, and just be fit and healthy. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam, for your views on having the healthy diet. Thank you very much. Can I have guest Ilayaraja? Guest Ilayaraja, are you there, sir?
Hello. Yes.
Yes, sir. So your topic is don't trouble the trouble until trouble troubles you. Don't trouble the trouble until trouble troubles you. Guest Ilayaraja.
Thank you, TD Master. Don't trouble the trouble until trouble that troubles you. Yes, we should not trouble the trouble. That is very clear to me also. Whenever you go on road, or you are in a meeting, or you are in any forum, if any trouble is happening, you need not to intervene and trouble the trouble. That will trouble you. So this is what is happening everywhere. These people unnecessarily intervening and putting their nose and getting harmed by themselves. That's what this sentence is saying. So we have to avoid this kind of situation anywhere we are. We have to listen first, observe first. If possible, after the meeting, we can tell them nicely how they can avoid this kind of situation. Otherwise, we are going to trouble the troubles. This is what is happening right now in the pandemic situation. Okay, already we are in trouble. If we go outside, we are troubling the trouble. That's what is going to happen. And then we have to trouble again other people. This pandemic will go like anything. And then we have to sit here and never go to the Medley Club, Gandhinagar, and we should not get the samosa, and we cannot see that atmosphere. This is what is going to happen. Better don't trouble the troubles. Thank you, TD Master.
Thank you, sir, for your views on this topic. Can I have guest Uday? Can I have guest Uday?
Yes, yes, Toastmaster. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can be much more audible. Can you speak a little bit louder?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, now it's okay. Sir, your topic is there is no rose without a thorn. There is no rose without a thorn. Guest Uday.
Yeah. So from this proverb, so what I understand is, so even the rose is too beautiful, but still it will just have a lot of thorns. So it means that whatever the beautiful thing that you want to achieve in your life, there will be a lot of difficulties that you may have to go through. So if you just stop, at the beginning, that after seeing all these difficulties, definitely you will not just attain that beautiful stage. So that what it really implies. So you have to just go through all those hardships and everything to just attain we want. So that is what it it in fact speaks. So that's it. Over to you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
sir. Yeah. Thank you very much. Can I have a guest Anushman?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Guest Anushman.
Hello. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. You are audible. Sorry, screen is not visible. There is an issue, technical issue. Let me try. So your topic is there is no rose. Sorry. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Guess Anushman.
Rome was not built in a day. This is actually an old proverb. Let's take. Well, I've just completed my class 12, and it has been a big mountain for me. From the start of 12th, when the novel coronavirus started, there was so much pressure on me. Whether I had many questions, whether I will complete my 12th standard, whether I will get a college, and many other queries. But I searched forward, keeping all those questions aside, making myself, preparing myself for the worst, and making myself the best. And so now I am sure that I can conquer Rome or whatever the government throws at me. So that's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Your views on this topic. Let me hand over the control back to TMOD. Thank you very much, all the speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Let's hear it from Timer regarding the qualified speakers, TT speakers.
All are qualified except guest Siddharth, Uday, and Anushman, since they are completely new to our
Can you
Toastmaster.
just read out the qualified speakers?
Yes. Toastmaster Venkateshan, Toastmaster Satish, guest Dr. Sundaram, Toastmaster Amita, Toastmaster Zahir Amit, guest Niveta, guest Ilaiyaraaja. That's all.
Okay, thank you. So let me launch the poll for best TT. Please don't consider the empty spaces. Thank you. So let's move on to the next session, which is the evaluation portion of Toastmasters. So as the power of communication, the next quality is listening and responding, right? Listening is not just about being quiet while someone is speaking. It is like related to mind. When somebody is talking, we are supposed to think of what they are telling, like receive the message, understand the message, remember like what they are trying to convey, evaluate, and then give feedback. That is responding. Like it can be either asking a question or giving feedback to them. So this is mainly covered in the evaluation portion of Toastmasters. So can I call upon the general evaluator, Toastmaster Saravanan, to take it forward?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. We listened to 3 rollicking speeches, which were humorous, informational, as well as very inspiring. To evaluate their thoughts as well as actions, that is both verbal and non-verbal, I have evaluators to provide instant feedback. The purpose of the evaluation is to give both positive as well as suggestions for improvement, so that they come back again and give their speech in a more better manner as such. First of all, to evaluate Toastmaster Venkateshan's speech, I would like to call an adventurous person who loves trekking and spending time in outdoors, especially in Chennai beaches. He is from the land of Taj Mahal, the symbol of eternal love. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Adishay.
Thank you, General Evaluator. A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Meditation and mindfulness. Take a moment and think back to March 2020, when the lockdowns hit India, and try to recount of all the times when you heard the words mental health, meditation, mindfulness, coming out of the mouths of self-improvement gurus and, of course, corporate HR departments that send out emails about mental health. Once, twice, thrice, 4, 5, 8, 9. I think I'll run out of fingers before I can make a count of all of these times these words were thrown around. Toastmaster Venkat Session today had us all spellbound and fixated on his speech as he went on to dispel and break down these oft used words, meditation and mindfulness, and then explained why all of the gurus and the email that the HR department sends make so much more sense and are more than just gimmicks. Toastmaster Venkat Session's goal with this project was to improve upon the feedback he received in the previous speech, which summarized very briefly was 1. To make it easier for the audience to understand his speech content. 2. To speak from a complete script instead of just looking at pointers and then speaking. And 3. To make it cohesive and shorten the parts of the speech that do not align with the theme and that do not fit exactly with his content. Today, we saw Toastmaster Venkat Session deliver on all of these points one after the other. He used visual aid, PPTs, and simple colorful diagrams to make sure that the audience understands his content. He made the structure cohesive by starting by explaining the differences between meditation and mindfulness, then going on to talk about the benefits of the two, and then lastly, explaining the reasoning, the scientific reasoning and the proof behind why these advantages are true, and the research that proves that these advantages really do exist. A couple of improvement points for the Toastmaster would be, number 1, modulation. Now, throughout the speech, I noticed that the Toastmaster could deliver the speech more effectively if he put some emphasis on placing the right emotion in the right place in the sentence structure. For example, by using varied pitches, volumes, and facial expressions, along with hand gestures, which he did. The second improvement point would be, towards the end of the speech, when the Toastmaster was trying to conclude, the transition from the speech body to the conclusion was very abrupt. One moment, the Toastmaster was talking about science, and the very next moment, the stage was being handed back to the TMOD, which I felt was a little abrupt and could use some improvement. Overall, Toastmaster Venkat Session did a phenomenal job at fulfilling its project requirements and went over and above through the efficient use of hand gestures and visual aid. To take this performance a notch up, I would recommend working on voice modulation and introducing a smoother conclusion. Thank you, Toastmaster Venkat Session. It was a pleasure listening to you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Atishay. Now coming to the next speech, to evaluate DTM Thomas Abraham's speech, I would like to call upon a person who enthusiastically takes up various roles. He is working in a leadership role in a multinational company in Chennai, and according to him, communication is paramount and without which nothing can be conveyed to others. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Shankar.
Thank you, General Evaluator Saravanan. The success of any speaker is depending on how audience is visualizing his or her speech. To be honest, DTM Thomas, you have opened one more avenue in your Toastmaster fraternity. If I want to say in Tamil, today's speech is very level. For non-Tamilian, it is a different one. Let me see how today I enjoyed your speech. You have brilliantly visualized the online and offline Xcom meeting in a humorous way. I never seen anyone who has used this type of metaphors for the Xcom role. I think you made all of us recollect the Medley meeting in Gandhinagar Club, where all the Xcom team member would be sitting on the back and how the meeting progressed. And so far, I don't know what was the reasons for them to sit on the back. Now I got the reasons from you. The second part is that though you have used many metaphors from president to treasurer, I completely enjoyed with two metaphors. Number one is the VPM, as you have metaphored with the salesperson because he has to achieve a target. And the next important person is treasurer, is a tax collector. When you are saying this metaphor, I can see there is a lot of humor from the Saravanan who did VPM in the previous term, and Sharanya who did treasurer role, and currently she's a treasurer also, Bingo Thomas. The next amazing thing was your vocal variety. This was the first time I'm seeing you in a 3 different personality and modulation, body language, and accent from you. Be it Thomas voice or Bala voice or Arun voice, the expression you have used, these three people, were very amazing. Wow, that to Thomas, and it's not easy to change the voice for every 10 seconds. So though it is a feedback session, and I don't see any recommendation on your speech, TTM Thomas. However, it would be always a good practice to check your video and audio check before the start of the speech. I think there were some technical glitch on your video. If you avoid this type of the small issues, I think always your speech will be at different level. Over to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shankar. Actually, in stage dramas and all, for every characters, we will see like the character will move to every mics, okay, to say like what is that. But I like the way DTM Thomas Abraham has brought in the frames, usage of frames to distinguish various characters. That is really good. Thank you. And the next speech is Toastmaster from Toastmaster Jagannathan. To evaluate Toastmaster Jagannathan's speech, I would like to call a person who is grounded, but also has the ability to fly. Please put your hands to welcome Toastmaster Shurya.
Thank you for the introduction, Toastmaster Sarvan. Okay, so as I was invited to evaluate Jagan's speech, I thought, how am I going to evaluate, right? After listening to his speech, again, completely grounded, right? I'm thinking, what am I going to evaluate, right? So Toastmaster Jagan, it was actually an exemplary speech that you had given today, right? When I say exemplary speech, in terms of vocal variety, gestures, which was perfect, and you had a perfect eye contact throughout your speech, right from the beginning till the end. And when it comes to the objective of the speech, yes, I believe you had perfectly met the objective of the speech, where the objective rightly said that you can quote any mentors right throughout your experience in your life, in your career, right? So you have started your experience being a prodigy right from your childhood, so which was really good. And apart from that, I couldn't, to be open, I couldn't able to evaluate much about your speech. As you said, there were a couple of points which you need to look upon specifically. So where I did that, one was the pace of your speech. So I, as an evaluator, was able to listen to your speech throughout, right from the beginning till the end, and I was able to follow. But as a listener, maybe you might have to little bit reduce the pace. And the next thing that you had requested was spontaneity of your speech, which you said you would want to get evaluated about it, right? I throw it open to the listeners itself, right? Listeners, I have a question for you. Would you believe if I say Jagan, Toastmaster Jagan, did not prepare well for the speech? Can anyone tell?
No, he prepared well.
So when he spoke to me today, he said he hasn't prepared well and he wanted to check his spontaneity. So I believe you got the answer, Toastmaster Jagan. And one small recommendation, I wouldn't say that, but when it comes to the pace, I felt when you were faster when you are pronouncing the names of people, right? Your pace was perfect, but when you pronounce the name of people, I could personally not able to connect to which name, what was the name. So you referred a name as Chaya and another person in Toastmasters, where I couldn't get that name, grab that name quickly. Since I know Thomas sir as a fellow Toastmaster in our club, I could able to get his name. So when you pronounce the name, you could be clear and legible. Because if you wanted to if you wanted the names to get registered in mind of your listeners, that would be better. So over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Surya. Toastmaster Jagannathan, I like the way you provided the credits for your photographs in your presentation. And I'm very sure that you are very aware that we have lawyers in our club. Okay. Okay, fine. So now coming back, we have a rollicking evaluation session from all the evaluators, and thank you, evaluators. I really appreciate your alacrity to come up with this kind of positive as well as improvement suggestions and all those stuffs. Thank you very much. And timer Toastmaster Aishwarya, can you let us know the qualified evaluators?
All are qualified.
Okay, good.
Sir.
Fine. So are we going to have the voting now or like a little later?
We can have it all together.
Okay, fine. Yeah, sure. Yeah, perfect. Now we move to the next section, that is the tag players report. So now I would like to call upon the timer, Toastmaster Aishwarya Lakshmi, to provide the report, timer report.
Let me whether my screen is visible, sir? Sir, whether my screen is visible now?
Yes, we are able to see.
Yeah, we can see.
Yeah. Okay. So Toastmaster Venkatesation took 6 minutes 50 seconds. DTM Thomas took 6 minutes 49 seconds. TM Jagannathan took 6 minutes 26 seconds. Toastmaster Venkatesation took 1 minute 52 seconds. Toastmaster Satish took 1 minute 51 seconds. Yes, Dr. Sundaram took 2 minutes 19 seconds. Toastmaster Amita took 1 minute 51 seconds. Guest Siddharth took 44 seconds. Toastmaster Zahir Amit took 2 minutes 6 seconds. Guest Niveta took 1 minute 30 seconds. Guest Ilayaraja took 1 minute 15 seconds. Guest Uday took 36 seconds. Guest Anushman took 46 seconds. And Toastmaster Atishay Jain took 3 minutes 4 seconds. Toastmaster Shankar took 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Surya took 3 minutes 42 seconds. That's all from me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aishwarya, for this meticulous report. Now we move on to the next section, that is the Toastmaster, our counter, to provide the report. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Subhashini to provide her report.
Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, my report seems and speaks volume on how conscious all the speakers, the table topic masters, the role takers, and the evaluators have been. Let me congratulate, and can I ask everyone to give a round of applause to all speakers today, because your speeches were so clean, and some of the table topic speakers, guest Ilayaraja, Zahir, I don't know if it's a Toastmaster, their speeches were clean, and general evaluators, because they are impromptu and, evaluator Toastmaster Atishay and Toastmaster Shankar, your evaluation was clean. Let us give a big round of applause to all of them who really did so well. And areas of improvement for some of the speakers, if only you're so conscious, I'm sure you're going to be a great speaker without any crutch words. So Venkateshan sir, like Toastmaster, you used a couple of repetitions, otherwise it's great. Satish, Toastmaster Satish, you used like and so quite a few times. Amita, your speech was brilliant, but there was a couple of crutch words. Guests have used some of the crutch words like Niveta, evaluator Surya, you use a lot of right. So maybe the next time when you speak, if you can be conscious about the right, I guess you're through with a clean speech again. Thank you so much. With this, I end my report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subhashini. Now we move on to the next section, that is to provide the grammarian report. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Sundaresan to provide his grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster General Evaluator Sharavanan. I'm managing with my mobile since there is a power cut here. I like to appreciate for using the 2 words of the day which I brought, alacrity and rollick. Toastmaster Station, Toastmaster Thomas, and Toastmaster Sharavanan, General Evaluator, use the word alacrity, and word rollick was used by Toastmaster Thomas. I think I should have made a gentle reminder before the table topic session so that all speakers could have used this word. Next time, let's try in that way. And usage comes with in our Toastmasters platform when words flow, when thoughts continue, repetitive words are possible. But we are here to learn and we are here to reduce those words. Especially word like was said by one table topic speaker several times, more than a dozen times. And yeah was continued. Then I was here, then I was there. So then word was repetitive. There is, and thing like. So these are the things tend to come when our words are flowing, but let us try to reduce and become a good speaker by learning this one. Having said that, I have to appreciate the words said by some of the Toastmasters. Very good. Importance of listening said by President Raghunath. Theme of the day, power of communication by Toastmaster Sharanya. And Toastmaster Jagan came with a duet song with philosophy. He said every evaluator is ex facto discussion. Later, I had to sit with him. I didn't fully understand. Really, it's a very good word. I had to learn that one. And I have to appreciate Toastmaster Thomas for giving the correct pronunciation while depicting different characters. As a grammarian, I appreciate him today. And for the sake of learning only, I will identify few lines and not with him and what are the possible correction ways, what the correct ways. At Adayar or IIT can be at Adayar or at IIT campus. How he was escaping can be how he escaped. Anything is happening to me can be anything I'm learning today. Fight the MC can be fight with MC. Just for the benefit of a guest, I'm saying these things. Are you there? Instead of asking those things, are you present in the meeting? Will give much rich language. Can I have guest topic? Can I request the guest to try this topic? And life is the biggest D can be life is the biggest. So few corrections. Let's learn and make our pronunciation very good. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sundaresan, for the detailed grammarian report. With this, we have listened to all the tag players as well as the evaluators on their complete evaluation. Now it's time for vote. Whenever the voting button comes, please vote for the best tag role player as well as best evaluator. Now it's now time for providing my overall feedback on the entire session itself. I would say lots of preparation had gone behind the conduct of this meeting. There is a lot of focus on the WhatsApp groups on who are all the role players, and whenever there is any role player who cannot who cannot take up some of the roles, the VPE has done a tremendous job in bringing in the alternates to provide a wholesome meeting as such. So a good job done by the Xcom for the agenda and then the posters and everything. And I would say, I would have like to appreciate guest Uday for being on video for all through the meeting, because I can see nearly 9 people who have turned the video on out of the 28 people, and guest Uday, the only guest who was there right from the start till the end. Thank you, Uday, for your wonderful being in the video and providing your thoughts as well. Thank you for that. And then I would say, like, the theme of the day, it is very relevant and coincides with the main purpose of Toastmasters, that is power of communication. And kudos to TMOD also for playing dual role, one as a TMOD as well as the poll master as well. It is very difficult because you can do a TMOD at a time, but doing both the roles. And I like the way you have done the TT speakers, the sense like you listen and then you gave the port immediately. That was very well done. Thank you for that. And then there were, as Toastmaster Sundaresan mentioned, I really like the words that are being used in the sessions as such. And there is a lot of learning in that as well. And as Toastmaster, as well as the presiding officer mentioned, the entire session is getting videographed. So for the benefit of the members as well as guests, everything is uploaded in YouTube. So please do an SSLC. That is, subscribe, share, like, and comment for Medley Toastmasters Club. And there was a message also sent by the presiding officer on where all we have social media presence. So please ensure that you do that SSLC. I know you have all completed your degree, but do that SSLC at least one more time. And then on the TD topics, well thought out topics and interviewing. So you are able to provide some stories, some quotations and everything. So it was very brilliantly done. And only one suggestion is please move to the presentation mode, because we could not see the surprise, because we could see the next topic that was there in the presentation deck. And some of the areas of improvement, please turn on the video so that at least by the time you speak, we can really see you and talk, right? So that is one of the important aspects. Please do that. And then second thing is on the display of banner, DCP charts, as well as communication charts and leadership charts. We can bring that up so that members as well as guests will know what are the things that Medley has done and what are the ways, the paths we have come through. So that is one of the important things. And during the meeting, some of the background noises came. Please ensure that you mute yourself in case if you're not talking, okay? And with this, I have concluded my evaluation for the entire session for today's meeting. And I would like to request the Toastmaster of the day to take over the proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Saravanan. So we have completed all 3 portions of today's meeting. We had an interesting speeches given by our speakers today. TT speeches were also very, very well, like all the guests tried their level best to answer on the spot, and we had an awesome evaluation today. Kudos to all the role players who played their role today. And for improving the power of communication, we really require Toastmasters forum, right? Toastmaster International has helped millions of people become more confident communicators, public speakers, and leaders. Hope all the guests and Toastmasters today enjoyed the meeting. And especially, I really feel lucky to be part of Medley, which is always our second family. With this, I would like to hand it over to the presiding officer of today, Toastmaster Raghunath.
Thank you so very much. What a wonderful meeting it was. What a rollicking meeting it was. Oh, now, yes, now we should not forget our Zoom master come TMOD has shared the list of members who needs to vote for the evaluator tag and other role players. I would leave 10-15 seconds for all members and guests to vote. Okay, I hope most of you have done your democratic way of selecting the best role players and things like that. But today, I really need to appreciate the TMOD because I've seen from the development of being in Toastmasters to a very composed MC and the way she handled both the Zoom master and the TMOD role. It's a great appreciation that need to be done because it need a lot of presence of mind, which is there, and that's something which need to be appreciated. And exactly getting the meeting on time, so that the development thing what I have seen in you, Sharanya, is quite appreciated. And let us give her a big round of applause for that perseverance in being a Toastmaster. And that's something which everyone need to learn. And the atrocity that we had in the newcomers, especially the timer Aishwarya, Subhashni as our counter, and of course, the vigor that our grammarian Sundareshan sir had in highlighting the key points. And something which we learn in Toastmasters and develop ourselves. Kudos to the role players, the evaluators, and everyone. What a fabulous meeting or rollicking meeting that I learned today as another word for the day. Excellent meeting. And I would like to hear a few comments from the guest on how they felt the meeting was. Because the next section is going to be a business session, which will be only for the members. So, Anshuman, I missed you in the first thing. can you turn on your camera and tell me how you felt the whole meeting?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you see me? Oh, 1 second.
Yeah.
Can you see me, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I really liked the meeting. I learned a lot about what is mindfulness and all this stuff, and I really learned how the Xcom also worked in a really hilarious way. I really like the meeting, sir. I wish to attend more meetings and also become a member.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Very good. Sakir, now it's been very long that we have spoken as guests. How do you find the meeting today?
So, first of all, it is really informative,
Okay.
and it also helped me like overcome my stage fear, and
Okay.
it also has given me some hope that I'm not the only person standing alone of facing stage fear, and it gives me some hope. Yeah. So you understand.
Excellent, excellent. Congratulations. That's a very fair way of doing it. The other guest I would like to hear, Nivedita. Thank you, Anshul.
Hi. So this session was like really nice. I got to know a lot of information about so many different topics, and I love the way everybody communicated. Like each speaker's topic and the way they spoke was so different. So I like learned a lot, and it also gave me a great opportunity to like learn from my mistakes and everything. What the evaluators had to say. It was such critical and positive feedback. So I really liked this session. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, all right. Thank you so much. Now it's the time to announce the winners for today. The best evaluator, Toastmaster Atishay. Congratulations, Atishay. The best tag player is our Grammarian Sundareshan sir. Best role play goes to Sharvanan as general evaluator. Best TT speaker is Toastmaster Amita, who spoke about the two sister siblings, how they found. And the best speaker is Toastmaster Jagan. Congratulations to all the winners.